opening race is going to take place in Bahrain with all the trouble going on?
Yeah, well, there's going to be a conference call in a couple of hours' time as to what's going to happen with the Bahrain race. Now, this is the season opener F1 race that's due to be held March the 13th, but obviously that's been put in doubt now with the ongoing protests in Bahrain. Now, there have been reports that Bernie Ecclestone is going to leave the decision as to whether the race is going to happen or not to the Crown Prince of Bahrain. So we're still waiting to see what's going to happen then. But what we do know is that the Formula One teams have decided not to go to the test session, which is happening a week earlier on March the 3rd. Mark Webber, actually, who's a very well-respected Formula One driver, has expressed some concern as to whether this is the right time to have the race, whether or not it's appropriate to have it in a country where people are dying.
Well, what will it mean for Bahrain if the race is cancelled?
Well, you know, Shali, this is the biggest event, full stop, in the country, you know, and this is a really great figure for you. Last year, the race drew 527 million viewers. So, you know, it also brings in a lot of tourists. So it brings in a lot of money for the country. But because it is such a high-profile event, there is a fear that protesters may target the event, and that's something that those involved in the F1 are very conscious about. They don't want it end up being targets for them.
All right, Farah, what else is in the sport?
Well, cricket and defending champions Australia look to be heading for victory in their opening match in this year's World Cup. The holders are taking on Zimbabwe in Group A after winning the toss and choosing to bat. The Australians were restricted to 262 for 6 off their 50 overs. Shane Watson and Michael Clark both hit 50s. In reply, the Zimbabweans have struggled against the Aussie pace attack. They're currently 164 for 8. Claudio Ranieri has quit as manager of Serie A side Roma. The club has appointed youth team coach Vincenzo Montello as manager till the end of the season. It follows a disastrous result on Sunday when Ranieri's let slip a 3-goal lead to lose 4-3 at Genoa. Initially, it was looking good for Roma. After a quarter of an hour, they were 2-0 up thanks to goals from Mexis and Berdiso. After halftime, it got even better for the visitors as Francesco Totti made it 3-0. Then just a minute later, the collapse began. Rodrigo Palacio pulled 1 goal back. Alberto Pelosci made it 3-2 6 minutes later. Pelosci scored his second to bring Genoa level. For Pelosci completed a remarkable comeback with the winner 5 minutes from time. Now, after the game, Ranieri told the players he would quit. It's prompted speculation. But under pressure, Chelsea bought Carlo Ancelotti could be lined up as a long-term replacement. In Spain, leaders Barcelona have re-established their 5-point advantage over Real Madrid after a hard-fought win against Athletic Bilbao. Barcelona took a 4th-minute lead. David Villa on target from Dani Alves' pass. But Bilbao proved resolute opponents, and it was they who equalized just after halftime. Sergio Busquets fouled Fernando Llorente, and Andoni Iraola stepped up to score Bilbao's equalizer from the penalty spot. Barcelona looked like they might drop 2 vital points before Lionel Messi struck with 12 minutes left to give the home side a 2-1 win. Now, the NASCAR series in the United States is well known for its frequent crashes, but this year's Daytona 500 was even more chaotic than usual.
Let's go racing, boys!
The event is known as the Great American Race and is the most prestigious on the NASCAR calendar. This year was also one of the most dramatic, as on the 29th lap, most of the field were caught up in a multiple-car pileup. Now, that crash resulted in one of a record 16 cautions during the race. The lead also changed 74 times, but at the end of it, all Trevor Bayne came out in front. Celebrated his 20th birthday just 1 day before. He's the youngest winner in the 52-year history of the Daytona 500. That's it for sport. Back to you, Shuli.
Just a little bit more sport, Farah, because while we were talking there, breaking news coming into us that Bahrain Grand Prix organisers have cancelled that season-opening Grand Prix in Bahrain because of all the protests. So there you have it. The Formula One fans have their answer. No season-opening Grand Prix race in Bahrain. Now, do stay with us here on Al Jazeera. We've got all the latest developments coming to you from Libya. In fact, I think we have the latest pictures coming out of Benghazi, which is said to be in the hands of protesters there. You can see anti-government protesters in Benghazi. This is Libya's second city. It's in the east where most of the unrest has been focused until now, although there is a march expected in Tripoli, which could lead, some protesters say, to more bloodshed. Do stay with us.
Hello, we've got rather cloudy skies across Qatar at the moment. Northern parts of the Arabian Peninsula looking a little dull. We've got this thick band of cloud just making its way a little further westwards. There you can see Doha. We have got dry weather to come, hazy sunshine, and I think we should see temperatures starting to recover as we go on into the middle part of the week. So 25 Celsius for Doha and also for Riyadh. As that cloud makes its way further eastwards, it will warm up for Riyadh, so getting up to around 25 Celsius as those winds tend to come in from more of a southwesterly direction. Hazy sunshine for the most part, hazy sunshine too into Iran, but we've got some disturbed weather coming into Pakistan, some snow over the high ground, Afghanistan seeing the wintry mix as well. Come down into much of India, it's fine and dry, but for the south we will see some rather lively showers just around Chennai, pushing down into Tamil Nadu and also Kerala. Northern parts of Sri Lanka could also see some wet weather. Colombo with a top temperature of around 33 degrees. Coming to southern Africa, heavy showers still there just around the central areas. Coming down into Zambia, into Tanzania, into Mozambique. Northern parts of Madagascar also still seeing flooding rains. Further problems to come here. For the Amazon basin, again, it stays very disturbed. We have further flooding to come for Ecuador and also for Bolivia.
Qatar, through Qatar Petroleum and its partners, has been adopting ambitious plans aimed to expand its exports of natural gas in its liquefied form into remote international markets and to supply piped gas to regional markets. In implementing those plans, Qatar has been benefiting from its strategic geographic location and the relatively low cost of producing gas from its territories. Qatar Petroleum.
Information travels in many ways. Knowledge passes in an instant.
If you want to communicate with those shaping the headlines, this is your chance to ask questions directly to the people making the news. Riz Khan, at this time on Al Jazeera.
International condemnation grows over Libya's deadly force against protesters. Human rights groups say more than 230 people have been killed, but demonstrations are gathering pace, with protesters claiming control of several key cities. Hello, I'm Shuli Ghosh. You're watching Al Jazeera live from Doha and London, where there's been strong criticism of the handling of Libya's uprising.
We have summoned the Libyan ambassador to the Foreign Office in London today.